Welcome to Two Readers, No Filter, a podcast for people who love books and have a lot of opinions about them. If you've ever finished a book and need to talk, you're in the right place. We're like a book club, but better. Too little time. I am Claire.
And I'm Cameron. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Or welcome for the first time.
Oh, yeah. That's an option too, I guess.
But if you're here for the first time, go back. We
back.
read some fun stuff. Go back. But into the topic of today,
Yeah.
we read We Burn So Bright by TJ Klune. This is the author of the book that Cameron raves about religiously.
House in the Cerulean Sea. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
spoilers ahead. Where do you want to start? Because I think it starts pretty
Yeah, it gets
fast
into it.
because you really only have 190 pages to get through.
Yeah. Which, love that. Love a short book.
Well, I appreciate someone who says, no, that's the story. Like, I'm not going to add on just to add on.
Did you read the author's note?
I did. That's the no. Which trigger warning for suicide?
Just everything.
End of the world thoughts. So it can be really dark. It can be suicide. It can be all sorts of things. So just trigger warning there. Because in the author's note, he says that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember reading that just in the fact that I remember saying, I appreciate that this is going to deal with dark themes.
Yes.
And hey, quick mention before you start. This is going to get dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
But I loved, like, in the acknowledgements, he was
I didn't read that either.
he was saying, I could have made this book like hundreds and hundreds of pages long because I have so many thoughts on it. But he was like, I wanted to challenge myself and make it shorter and only keep the things that are like I actually want to get across.
Yep.
With like the stuff in the end with their adopted child, like all of those issues.
Yeah.
He was like, that's what I really wanted to focus on, and I feel like if it got longer, I wouldn't have done that, and like this just challenged me. So I appreciated that he was like, it's not short because I was lazy. Like, this is for a reason.
But I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that he kept in what he wanted to keep in, and there really wasn't much fluff.
Exactly.
Every single person that they encountered on the road,
there was something.
There was something that they learned from them.
Yeah. It added to it.
Yeah.
But was this your first TJ Klune
Yes,
book?
this was.
That's crazy.
Not because, again, I am the lavender soap person that can't freaking use the soap and I need to just use it.
Yeah.
I've been saving House on the Cerulean Sea for like when I want it because I know that there's two.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing too is I love when I can binge stuff.
Yep.
So I'm like, ooh, it's going to be so good. I'm going to eat it up and then I'm going to move on to the next one.
Yep. And that's just like a feel good one. There's no end of the world stuff with that one. That's a happy book.
But yeah, so this was my first book by him.
Crazy.
I do think he wrote very well. I like his portrayal of LGBTQIA community. Yeah.
I really liked that. My thing was going into this, I always assume like a short book is just not going to have the depth that I want. But I feel like you might disagree, but I feel like this one had the depth. Like it covered actual things, not just like, oh, this was this person's day. The end. Like it dove in and he was not scared to. That's what I appreciate about him. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Let's be very clear. I thought that this story was, again, very well written. And I think that, again, what I said of he accomplished a lot in only 190 pages.
Yeah, he did.
So I think that it was intentional, and I appreciated that because nothing sucks more than like a show that goes too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, no, cancel it off of season 4. You don't have more to
Euphoria.
tell.
Yeah.
Wasn't saying that one, but you said it. Anyways, and so I just think that was something. I also knew it was going to be impactful because, first of all, I knew this author from you, and I know your taste.
Yeah.
So I knew it was probably going to be hard-hitting journalism. But you know what I mean? Like hard-hitting. Exactly. But I knew, and I also think that his author's note like made that very clear. So I feel like I actually was very prepared going into this knowing what you were probably going to explore.
Yeah.
Because I think it's part of the whole reason why I'm like, this is not a good genre for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I read for escapism. And this is
Yeah.
something I actually thought about, is I actually love fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And I never put that together of like, I like fantasy and dystopian because they're escapism that have some things that could be applied back to the world if you think about it. But if you don't think about it, you're just having a good fun trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't love all these books all the time because it makes me think about what's going on sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, no, thank you.
And that's fair.
So that sometimes is how I feel about things. But anyways, as we were talking about like the author's note and everything, with that, I guess, preparation as you're going into it, like what other emotions did you feel throughout this book? Because I feel like there were so many.
Like every emotion. Like I actually like loved this book. Like, and I knew when you were reading it, or when I was reading it, I was like, Claire's not gonna like this. Like, I love this because I'm very passionate about, like, you know, everyone's gonna die. We just gotta accept it. And you are very much like, I want to avoid thinking about that. When it comes, I'll deal with it, but I don't want to think about it, which totally valid. But I love like putting myself in these situations, like, because I felt like I was a part of it. Like I was just like sitting in the back seat with them, going along with them.
What would you do?
And it was like, what would you do? Like, how would I react? Like, I don't know.
See, and I think that I have always been like, even when I was little and you had a project and you had to go and present it, I always told myself like, oh, I'll go last, like it will be fine. And then I realized very early on in my young academia that actually is the worst slot.
Yes.
The best slot for you to do is the first one.
Yes.
Because the waiting is the worst part.
Exactly.
So what's that mean? That it's like Megan knew who she was at a very young age. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That is me. Yeah. I knew that the waiting is the worst.
Yep.
But I did appreciate being able to go with them on this journey. Like, they have the RV, they have everything ready. I knew something was up. I had a couple of guesses. Like, I wasn't surprised with what happened.
Yeah.
But I was excited to see how it like panned out.
Yeah.
You know? But as they got into the RV, their first interaction with people after they were talking about, you know, highways are scary right now. Are you sure you want to do it? Because I mean, we even started to see just some scary stuff from COVID. So being able to think of like this type of world, hell yeah, that's going to be terrifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like such a weird in between. The government's trying to deal with it, how they are going to deal with it, which is scary and everything like that. And then people have loss of control and like loss of boundaries and rules, and then they're trying to deal with it that way. And poor Dawn and Rodney just want to go on a trip. You know?
Yep.
And I think that was established very quickly with John and Megan and the two kids. Because those were the first people they came into contact with.
Yep.
Yeah. What was your thoughts about all of that?
That was just whiplash. Like,
yes.
I was like,
great word. I would agree.
Like, what is her deal? Like, I understand the world is ending, but like, girl, you're all going through it. Like, come on. Like, I mean, as they got into it, I was like, okay, I get this. But it really was just whiplash. Like,
I agree, because I think that I did feel bad that she was pregnant and that she would never meet that baby and everything like that. I get that. That's sad. But the whiplash from like, come eat dinner with us. No, come with us. No, come with us.
Stop talking to us. Get away.
I might kill you.
Like, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Let's just
go to the barn.
Oh my God.
With
Speaking of,
girl.
wasn't she next? Yes.
Yeah.
Amelia. Amelia was next.
And then it was the hippies, right?
Yeah, I think so.
With the weird names.
Oh, Pantomime and Juniper. Jesus.
I loved Dawn and what are they?
Rodney.
Rodney
Dawn was like,
and Rodney's like,
are you
talking crap about their names? They're like, you're joking.
Yeah.
Like, so old person. Anyways,
Amelia was next.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. But I gotta throw out there, like, I think that this is one of those, like, when you're watching a horror movie and you're like, you know better. Why did you just do what you did?
Yeah.
Because she's sitting there laying on the ground. They're like, oh no, is she, like, what do you think? What do you think? First of all, wearing a dress. That's The Shining written all over it. Second of all, she rises up, sits up from the ground and, like, looks at them. hell no.
You're not coming home
No.
with us. No.
And I don't care who you are. If I'm dying in a couple days, like, I'm going to prolong that. Especially knowing how I feel about that. However, I will throw out there, I think that if I was put in this situation, I probably would have told my husband to just be like, hey, take me out back and just, like, I'm good. Don't do it when I'm looking, or, like, don't tell me when you're going to do it. But just, yeah, exactly.
Surprise.
So, I don't think, I personally agree with her method, but I think that you need that consent.
Yeah. Not just.
And that was a little bit missing.
It was interesting. It was very interesting.
Like, what the hell?
I'm gonna start saying that now. What? Take me to the barn. Take me to the barn. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, because I used to say, like, just take me out back.
Yeah. Now it's the barn.
Yeah. Take me to the barn.
Also,
the dead bodies and everything.
Oh my God.
I was very impressed with how Rodney got them out of it, though.
Yeah.
Because I knew that it was too early on, but I will tell you, if it was closer to the end of the book, I would have been bricks.
Yeah, because that was very early on.
Yes. Yeah. So I knew that they had it couldn't just end there.
No.
However, if we only had a couple of pages left.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then the next was Pantomime and Juniper.
Yeah. I loved them. I liked that whole, the hippie, like, oh, come smoke some weed with us. And then them, like, ending up naked and running into the ocean, and like,
was that them? I thought that was.
Was there someone else that?
I thought it was with Amy and Becca.
Oh, it might have been
her name. Becca, Brenda, Bridget.
Maybe it was because they were the old people.
Damn, I'm nailing it today. Yeah, no, I think the Pantomime and Juniper were the ones that they married. So they ate the cookies, and then Rodney married them.
Yep.
Which I thought that was hilarious because my husband is Rodney. You know what I mean? Like, he's very antisocial. He doesn't want to talk to people and everything like that. I could, like, so see him in that situation, and just out of nowhere, he ate half of a cookie, and now he's marrying these two people.
Yeah, I did like that.
Like, loved it.
I have a quote written down.
Okay.
I don't remember at what point this was. I meant to put the page, but I was just too excited, I guess. When it was, Rodney said, Faith, what a bunch of... Did you hear that? As if God is the answer and reason for everything. They love him even now, even as they beg for answers. Trust in his plan, they say. When bad things happen, they happen for a reason. That's a cop-out. Bad things don't happen because of some infinite force pulling the strings, but because of sheer rotten luck. And then he goes into how nothing can stand against luck. And...
Why do I feel like that probably would have been John and Megan?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think it was early on.
I think so.
Because I think John was extremely optimistic about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to figure this out. They're going to figure this out.
Yeah. Be like, God's got this.
So I feel like it would have been from him, but I don't know when that was.
I don't know either. But that just, because I was like, I feel like so many people would be like that when the world is ending. It's like, whatever. Just trust in him. Like, I'm going to take the reins. I need to be in control. I'm not putting my faith in something like that's clearly making the world end. In that logic, he's making the world end. Like, why
I also think that if we were to play that game and go down that road, he also gave free will.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take it with me to the barn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to the barn.
Yeah, like, I'm just gonna.
So I think that there's I understand where they're coming from. I can hear them, and I can say, okay, that's your perspective, but it's not mine.
Yeah, but I do feel like it can get insensitive.
Yeah,
in certain scenarios, like
saying, God, especially
like, hello, read the room.
Yeah.
So that I really liked that part when Rodney was going off. I think I resonate with Rodney a lot, which do with that what you will. But
that's so funny because I feel like I didn't really resonate with either of them, but I loved. Oh, this is a question actually I had for you. Let me pause. Let me go back. Okay. Who do you think is the main character?
Oh.
Because most of the time when a book is told like this, there isn't really one.
Yeah.
However, I felt that there was one.
Who do you think? I'm curious. Okay.
We got more of Dawn's perspective than Rodney's.
That's true.
It was like Dawn was looking at Rodney and remembering everything. Dawn wished that Rodney would say that, but he didn't. Dawn, da 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 da. And I found that so interesting because in my dynamic, I probably would be Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But also at the same time, like, I just found it so interesting that most of the time they don't really pick a side, and this did.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. I didn't even really think of that.
I found it really interesting because I think that there's so many times. I mean, think about your own relationship that you're looking at the other person and you have all these thoughts in your head. And if it's not said, they don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think about it all the time. But anyways.
It's funny because I have another quote or like series of quotes from Rodney.
Okay.
Just Rodney kept saying things and I was like, write it down. When he was talking about cell phones and he's like, look at the people out there.
Yes.
See the people standing outside. See the people in their cars. You pass by people and their heads are always down looking at their phones. Always on their phones when they're driving, when they're walking, when they're eating or on the or watching TV. That little magic rectangle filled with everything known to mankind, all of our history, everything we've ever learned. It's all there, but no one's looking at their phones anymore. Not really. It's like they look at the end of the world for people to look up and see each other. And I was like,
I liked that quote too.
I liked that a lot. And then he talked about Amelia. Dawn was like, Amelia. And then he was like, she saw people too, but in a different way.
Yep.
And so I just like, I think the like juxtaposition is so interesting.
Rodney got Amelia.
Yeah.
Like, the whole reason they got away from Amelia was because of what Rodney said. I forget what he said now, but I just remember being like, holy crap. If it was Dawn and Dawn spoke up, they would not have gotten out of there. But because Rodney had that specific point of view, he was able to get it through there. But I agree with you. There's so many times that I want to disconnect from my phone and not be there. And I feel like reading helps me do that. Yes. And that's why I feel so passionate about it.
Exactly.
But there's so many times that I look at avocado and I'm like, grateful. I feel grateful.
Yeah.
I feel grateful for the hard work I used to put in. I feel grateful for where I'm at, when I am, and trying to be here in this moment and everything like that. And I just think that the phones take away from that.
Yeah.
The phones feed, I don't know, a reality that's not so true. And the need for instant gratification when, like, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel so passionately like we should not be exposed to everything in the world like we are with phones. Yeah. Like, I should not be knowing what's happening like with this one random person and then comparing myself to them. Yeah. I don't know their situation. Like, it's so like, yeah. So I've been trying to be more mindful about like disconnecting and not having something like the end of the world make me do that. Like, just be more mindful of it in my day-to-day life because it helps so much.
Yeah. But what's your next quote? It seemed like you had a couple.
So then he was talking about how Amelia saw people in a different way. And he goes in this whole thing like, we aren't good, but we aren't bad. We just are like most people. We've done things right. We've done things wrong. We've made catastrophic mistakes, but we're not like Amelia. We have purpose. And it's like just that whole like, we just are.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, I don't know. No one's perfect. So stop trying to put yourself on a high horse. But
that's something I heard. I forget where I heard it or I read it or something. I consumed it from somewhere that it's this person said, we're all living life for the first time. You have to give me grace because we're all living life for the first time.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we're all trying to be a better person tomorrow and like change and everything like that. And and that's why I think I do love the relationships within these types of books. But because I personally, like, my favorite relationship that was in this book was Amy and Becca. Because I think it really showcased different generations and how you can have a lot of respect for each other and not like still not fully get the other one.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you want to learn and you want to know more. And I thought it was so cute when they were like, our elder queers.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so funny to me. And they meant it from a place of love. And Rodney was like, no. Which I respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You grew up with a different understanding of a word, and just because the word changed doesn't mean that you feel comfortable with it, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I just think it was so interesting for them to say, I know it's the end of the world, but I want to hear more. Tell me more. But my second favorite was the hippies because they just made me laugh of like how Dawn and Rodney interacted with them.
So funny.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. However, I did feel like they waited a little bit too long for this trip. How did you feel about that? Because I was really stressed at the end because I think after Amy and Becca, they only met with who was it?
That lady, the
starts with a J. All I know is that her dog's name was Nax. And I was like, yes. Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was stressing me out towards the end. And I also wish they didn't wait so long to tell the story about
Jeremy?
about Jeremy. Because I did like how they kind of like hinted towards it and you like kept getting little bits of information. But it was like the end and then it was like, boom, oh no, bye.
Yeah, because I almost wish that it was a little bit more of a glimpse into it where they would be in a real life situation and one of them would make a comment and then would go into like a flashback.
Yeah.
Because I think that some of the like at the end, I almost felt like it was a little rushed. In the fact that I was like, no. What do you mean by that? Expand.
Yeah.
Because we were waiting the whole entire book to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we knew at this point, like, he was deceased.
Yeah.
We didn't know how old he was when he was deceased. We knew, a couple of little facts here and there.
Yeah.
But, speaking of the Jeremy story, like, how did you feel about the whole entire reveal as well as like the emotions that were associated with it? Because it was a wild ride.
Yeah.
It was the last 20 pages.
Yeah. It was like the last chapter, basically.
Yeah.
I loved that part of the story. I loved all of the emotions that because it really did go through everything of like, they're like, we really wanted a child. Can't get it. Oh, there's this one, but there's this issue. And then they have a little bit of hope. And then no hope at all. And I don't know. That was also, whiplash. Again, a lot of whiplash in the story. But like I said, I wish it was kind of woven.
Yeah, put together.
Woven throughout. Like I remember when he was like holding, I guess Dawn and Rodney were holding each other's hand. They're like, you know what this reminds me of? And he was like, what? Like Jeremy. And then it could have gone into something like a specific moment where they were holding hands. Like, what is that connection? Yeah. So it did feel a little disconnected in some parts, but overall, yeah. What about you?
I loved that story element, because I think it really rounded it out, and I think I loved the frustration of it as well, because I think that there was so much truth in that. I think that people who are really passionate about building a family and building a loving home should be parents, because at the end of the day, you're going to screw up and you're going to do something wrong. But one of Rodney's quotes that I did not write down, but he said, like, we did our best and that wasn't enough, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I think that honestly, that little quote right there, that's parenthood. You will never be fully correct and you will never fully be doing the best thing that you could do for them, but you're doing your best, and that's enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I love that, yeah.
Hopefully you have the relationship, like your kid can look at you and be like, yeah, but maybe we can talk about it and have the relationship to be able to better inform of like, what could I do and what could you do in the relationship together to be able to change that? Because I think that no matter what relationship you're in, if it's a romantic with a partner or if you're in a mother, son, father, daughter, whatever, like a parenting, or if you're even in a sibling relationship, a relationship is a relationship. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
And so I think that was really interesting. I also think it was very interesting to see that where they made the choices and where they made the boundaries and the lines and drew them and stuck to it.
Yeah.
Because I personally thought that when Jeremy hit Dawn and Rodney said that's done, I'm it. Like, that's it. We cannot move forward. I think that was extremely strong because I didn't know what I would do in that position.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there putting myself in the same room with them and saying, I don't know, because you love the child so much, but also at the end of the day, that's my partner. And they did nothing to merit that.
Yeah.
And I just like, I think that he did such a good job writing this novel and having that emotion and having all of those connections, because that's life.
Yeah.
Life is messy.
Yeah.
But
and it's not smooth sailing. And that was reflected. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you knew the world was going to end in less than a month, would you want to die on your own terms or wait for the end?
I mean, I'd take me to the barn.
Would you?
Yeah. I think I'd want to do it in like a fun way. Like, like get like, I need to like plan it out. Like have
You're
a
like,
very
come to my death party.
Come to my death party. Like whoever wants to die, let's do it together. Like I feel like that would make me feel a lot better. As if I'm like because I don't want to just die alone or like have someone kill me without my consent. Like Amelia. Little freak.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to just wait. No way. No way.
I think that I see the duality of it, and this is why I hate this. Because I'm terrified of the unknown. So like even just reading this book was a lot for me. Which I don't know why, but like dystopian novels, I guess it's because there's like hope for a new change or something. I don't know. Anyways, I think that I would love to be the person that would wait for the end and be able to soak up all those memories and be able to do that. But I think I just can't handle it. No. I think I would go absolutely insane.
No.
Like, I think I unintentionally would end up like Amelia or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would just absolutely lose it.
Yeah.
Which also, I just felt bad for her. I should have said this before, but I felt bad for her that she lost so young and so early on. And I think that, unfortunately, like, for a lot of people, romance is such a integral piece of growing up, like, during that age specifically, that I just wish that that didn't have that much of an importance in our life, even though I know it was in mine, and I know it's going to be in like my kids as well. That's just that age. But dang,
yeah,
I was like, to lose so much so young. Damn.
Yeah. You know who would be insufferable if they were in this? What group of people? The class of 2020. They'd be like,
we didn't get a graduation.
I never got to graduate. I didn't get a prom. Boo.
Yeah.
Get over it. You know what I didn't get? A good college experience. You know what a lot of other people didn't get? A lot of things. Like, everyone suffered.
I just want to throw out there, like, I don't mean to sound like I agree with you, and I think that that's hard because childhood is a lot, and you have so many things looking up to it, but also a lot of people got death.
Yeah. Like, come on.
So
everyone suffered.
You're still breathing.
Yeah, at least you're alive.
But I also think that if they were less annoying about it, it would be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if someone came to you and was like, yeah, I'm throwing a prom birthday party because I never got my prom.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, that's so cute. Like, what are we going to wear? Let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like the whole victim thing.
Yes, exactly.
And it's just one of those things that, like, I don't know. Have you never had something not go your way?
I know.
Like, is this the first time? You know?
Exactly.
So
that's I agree. If you like didn't play the victim.
Yeah. Like,
I think that's the thing. Like, I chose to look at it in a good light, like, of what I could be grateful for.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people going through things. Like, at least I'm locked up with my family.
I have health.
Yeah, I'm healthy.
I'm not worried
dying
about it. That if I did the grocery run for my family or whatever, then I would be down and out.
Like, just look at the bright side.
I know.
Touch
grass.
Touch grass.
I feel like that's my takeaway every single time. I'm like, touch grass, read fantasy.
Open your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, what else? Less thoughts? I mean, it's only 190 pages, so I feel like there's not too much.
Exactly. Not many thoughts, except scary. I don't want to see a lightning ball.
Oh my God! What's your rating?
Oh yeah.
I totally forgot that. Yeah, the lightning ball thing, that was crazy.
That
I was like,
and then when the like gravity just going away, that was
like, we're getting a little bit Umbrella Academy in here.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's seen that, but you should watch it.
Good show.
But anyways,
I would give it. I think I'm gonna settle on 4 stars. Like, I just like the like existential crisis it gave me of like I like feeling scared. I don't know. That's always been a thing. Apparently, when I was little, my favorite thing was to have my dad hide around the house and him jump scare me. I would eat that up. So that reflects in my reading career.
Reading career. I love that.
I'm making it a career.
That's what we're trying.
But I like when I feel scared and like, ooh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But I don't want to feel like scared that someone's gonna murder me. I don't like that. But I like the, oh my god, end of the world. What's gonna happen?
You like that you can't predict what's next.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm so type A and I need, like, in my real life, I'm like, I need to have everything planned. Like, what are my next career steps? I don't want to have to be questioning that. I want to be able to, like, hold the reins. Yeah. So I like when I can just read something and be like, it's not really affecting me, but I can put myself in the situation. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like your rating's going to be low.
Yeah, mine was 2 stars.
Yeah.
Mine was 2 stars because, I mean, obviously I didn't love the premise.
Yeah.
Anything end of the world, I just naturally am a ball of anxiety. I mean, just think of anxiety from Inside Out.
You.
That's me.
That's also guava.
That's why I think I am the guava of your relationship. Like, I identify. Yes. I get that. Yeah. And every single time he has an opinion, I'm like, you see me. Yep. I get that. Yep. But anyways, yeah, I think that the thing that redeemed it for me is the relationships. But I do think in between, when they were traveling between like the next group of people that they were going to interact with, it was boring. So it was a little bit hard to get through in that sense. So I do appreciate that he said the story that he had, because I think if he added too much more, it would have had to be around Jeremy. It would have, which would have been nice, but it would have had to be around like some of the traveling and more stuff in that to like draw it out more. Yeah. And I think that would have been painful for me.
Yeah. Okay. So is this rated lower than Margot's Got Money Troubles?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't have an adaptation to win points. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So to me, if I have 2 things to evaluate, I think it's I'm able to like have a little bit more of a bias. Yeah. Because it, like, watching Nick Offerman be Jinx. Yeah. Made me love their relationship a little bit more. Yeah. So it pushed that relationship. So I also think that it was hard because if I love relationships so much, there didn't have enough time to establish a relationship that was everlasting. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Pantomime and Juniper, they're not even going to remember who married them the next day and that they're married. So I think to me, it's just like a little bit more touching in that point. I also think that like what I said before of like some of the elements toward the end, that made it for me. Yeah. In Margot. But I think that this was definitely a hard couple of episodes for me with the 2 pieces of content. I was like, damn. Yeah. They're both under 3 for me, which is rough.
Yeah. I just loved the like psychological aspect of it because I was a psychology major. And so anything that has to do with like mental health or mental disorders, like I find it so fascinating. And especially when it can, like, there's a relationship around it, not just like, oh, this is this mental disorder. It like kind of humanizes it. Yeah. I don't know. So that's why I like the whole Jeremy part was just so fascinating to me.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like I'll like some of his other books is because you have time to like grow those relationships.
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than just like it's fleeting.
Yes. Just yeah.
And I think that the whole premise, and that's kind of why I don't love those types of books too, is like the whole plot is like everything is fleeting.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it would have gotten more if, again, like I said before, it had those flashbacks, because then you would have seen the relationships grow over time.
Yeah.
Fair. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but anyways, but yeah, that's my rating.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for joining us. If you liked our podcast, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We also have a Goodreads account for following along on what we're reading, planning to read, and what we've mentioned on the podcast. As we are a new podcast, we would love it if you could share this episode with one person, maybe your reading buddy or someone that read this book that you think they would like this. And we will see you next time.
Bye.